Joining me now is Democratic Senator of Delaware, Chris Coons. And thank you so much, Senator, for being here. Do you expect more answers on Russia from the president in 2 weeks?
No, I don't. Frankly, President Trump has been playing this game for 2 weeks and 2 weeks and 2 weeks and expressing surprise and disappointment that Putin has not yet come forward to seriously negotiate peace. We've all known this since the beginning of the war, when Putin, Russian tanks and troops and helicopters and jet fighters invaded Ukraine. The Ukrainians have been fighting bravely and dying and suffering from Russian aggression now since February of 2022. The only way this ends well for the United States, for the West, and for Ukraine is for President Trump to show up, to show some strength, and to actually stand behind Ukraine. Putin is playing him, and we all know it. And 2 more weeks won't make any difference unless President Trump shows that he understands that peace through strength requires strength. Tougher sanctions, more support for Ukraine, locking arms with our European allies, and forcing Putin to the table. Otherwise, he's just going to keep playing for time.
You're a co-sponsor of a bill alongside Senator Lindsey Graham that so far has more than 80 of your other colleagues on it. It would impose primary and secondary sanctions against Russia and those who are supporting Russia's war in Ukraine. To get 80 senators to agree on anything is notable in and of itself. Do you expect Senate Republicans to act here if the president does not?
They should. Frankly, there's a long history of the Senate stepping forward and acting on important foreign policy matters when the president isn't. And that we've got 80 senators, Republicans and Democrats, ready and willing to impose much tougher sanctions on Russia and on the countries that are supporting the Russian war effort tells you that we can all see clearly what President Trump seems to be having trouble appreciating or understanding. Putin's the aggressor. We have to impose higher costs or Putin will just keep playing us.
The president has a reasoning, he says, for why he has not imposed new sanctions on Russia yet. And this is what he told reporters earlier.
What stopped you from imposing new sanctions on Russia?
Only the fact that if I think I'm close to getting a deal, I don't want to screw it up by doing that. Let me tell you, I'm a lot tougher than the people you're talking about, but you have to know when to use that. If I think it's going to hurt a deal, this isn't my war. This is Biden's war, Zelensky's war, and Putin's war. This isn't Trump's war.
Do you think he has any point there, Senator, when he says that he's worried if he does put sanctions in place, it could prolong this process as he is trying to get to an agreement with the Russian leader?
No. Putin is a thug and an aggressor. He only understands force. And the only way to get Putin to stop playing us and to come to the table to negotiate a just peace is to actually meaningfully threaten tougher sanctions, stronger support for Ukraine. That's the only way this moves forward. And I'll remind you, President Trump promised over and over in the campaign that he would resolve this war on day one. It's 5 months later after his inauguration, and we're all waiting to see him take some stronger decisive action to bring peace to Europe. He has the opportunity. He has the capability. We'd love for him to show leadership here, and I think all of the world would celebrate an actual just peace in Ukraine, but it's going to require some strength and engagement from President Trump.
If there is more to sanction of Russia, why hasn't the Senate done it before now?
Frankly, finding bipartisan agreement has been hard when President Trump has been on again, off again, signaling support for Russia, signaling support for Ukraine. I respect that Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Dick Blumenthal have moved ahead with a very tough sanctions package, and it's my hope that we won't wait for Trump to make up his mind about whether or not Putin is the aggressor. We all know the reality. It's time for us to act.
Yeah. We'll see if those sanctions happen and if they will make a noticeable impact on this war. Senator Chris Coons, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Kaitlan.